Let me ask you a question nobody in fantasy football wants to answer out loud. Where is Jonathan Taylor really heading in 2026? Because depending on who you ask, he's either a bounce back, elite running back, or a name we're clinging to because of who he used to be. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why analysts are quietly backing away from Jonathan Taylor, even though the box score doesn't tell you the full story. Stay with me, because halfway through this video, I'm going to show you the exact moment Jonathan Taylor's 2025 season changed and why it matters more than anything else for 2026 fantasy football. Here's the problem. Most fantasy analysis treats Jonathan Taylor like a finished evaluation. He's still talented. The offensive line was bad. The Colts offense was inconsistent. But that's lazy analysis. Because when you actually watch the second half of Jonathan Taylor's 2025 season, something feels off. Not slower, not weaker, but hesitant. And hesitation is the silent killer for elite running backs. And this is where most style commentary usually stops short. They'll give you stats, trends, surface-level film takes, but I want you to understand what those plays were saying. And in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you again, where should Jonathan Taylor really be ranked for 2026 fantasy football? Let's talk about the second half of 2025. From weeks 1, 8, explosive first step, confident downhill running, decisive cuts, willingness to punish defenders. From weeks 9, 18, fewer explosive runs, more east-west movement, fewer broken tackles, more runs ending at first contact. Now here's the key. This wasn't just defensive adjustments. This was Jonathan Taylor thinking instead of reacting. Elite running backs don't think. They see green and they go. And when that disappears, fantasy production follows. Keep that thought, because later I'm going to explain why this hesitation might not be fixable in 2026. Go back and watch Jonathan Taylor's best plays from early 2025. Notice something. One cut, full commitment, no bailout steps. Now compare that to late season tape.
You'll see half cuts, stutter steps behind the line, runs that could have been 12 yards, turning into 4.
And here's the uncomfortable truth. Fantasy analysts don't like saying, the body heals before the mind does. After injuries, running backs don't lose speed first. They lose trust. Trust in their legs. Trust in contact. Trust in chaos. And once that trust cracks, fantasy ceilings collapse. Before you decide Jonathan Taylor's washed, ask yourself this. Why do some analysts still have him ranked inside the top 10 RBs for 2026? Because the answer isn't what you think, and it has nothing to do with nostalgia. We're getting to that next. Here's where Jonathan Taylor currently lives in early 2026 fantasy discussions. Not elite tier, not dead zone. He's in a fragile running back 1, high running back 2 tier. That's the tier fantasy players hate. Too risky to trust weekly. Too talented to fade completely. Too expensive to draft comfortably. And here's why. Jonathan Taylor still has vision. Power short area burst. But what he doesn't consistently show anymore is second level explosion after contact. That's the difference between running back 12 and running back 4. And fantasy championships are won in that gap. Now let's talk about Indianapolis, because this matters more than people realize. The Colts offense in 2025 became more quarterback-driven, less run-centric, more situational. That means Jonathan Taylor stopped being the identity of the offense and became a piece of it. And when elite running backs lose offensive gravity, fantasy efficiency dies, even if the talent is still there. And here's the loop. If Jonathan Taylor isn't the engine anymore, Can he still return running back one value in 2026? Hold that. There's a specific stretch late in 2025, you probably remember it. Games where he ran hard but didn't dominate. Finished with fine fantasy lines but never took over. That's the danger zone. Because fantasy managers confuse not bad with still elite. Elite running backs dictate games. Jonathon Taylor was responding to them, and that's the line analysts are quietly reacting to. So here's the real question. Is Jonathon Taylor a bounce-back monster waiting to explode? Or D, a volume-dependent back living off reputation? Because the answer determines where you draft him in 2026. And I'm about to give you the most honest answer you'll hear all offseason. Here's the truth. Jonathon Taylor in 2026 is not a league winner by default. He is a bet on confidence returning, a bet on offensive structure shifting back, a bet that hesitation disappears. That's not a safe bet. That's a calculated one. And smart fantasy players treat him like running back 10, running back 14 upside, running back 18, running back 22 floor. Not because he's bad, but because elite running back dominance is fragile.
We reset the game.
So when someone asks, where is Jonathon Taylor in the 2026 fantasy football landscape? The real answer is this. He's standing at the gate between legacy and reinvention. And fantasy players who understand why his 2025 season fell apart will draft him correctly. Everyone else will draft the name. Drop a comment and tell me, are you buying the bounce back? Or are you fading Jonathon Taylor in 2026? Because the next video, we're talking about who's replacing him at the top, and nobody's ready for that conversation yet.
But in the heat, signal jam, no replay. I rewrite the code while y'all stuck in the booth. I'm running this road. End zone lit like a server farm on fire. My flow's encrypted, can't copy, can't retire. Keep up.